We are at the Sony event and we're testing the a6400 and we're giving one away at freesdp.com. So look in the description below for that. I'm filming with it right now and we're going to see if it's the entry-level Sony of your dreams. So let's go test it out. Tony. So the buttons are about the same as the a6500, which I was never really a fan of them. They're kind of small, they're flush. It also has the same battery, so the small battery and one card slot. It also has a flip screen, but it's a little bit strange. So it's right in front of the hot shoe, which means you have to add an attachment if you want to put your mic on it. So you'd have to put an attachment and move it to the side, and one more thing to carry. Also, it has a mic jack, but not a headphone jack, so you can't monitor your sound that way. No disassemble. I don't know how I opened that, but I'm pretty sure I almost broke it. I'm afraid to do it again because I don't want Mark to be mad at me.
The a6400 is Sony's entry-level APS-C camera at $900 and 24 megapixels. It has 4K 30p video, which we found to be good quality, though it does crop it a little bit. It is 11 frames per second with autofocus. Now, compared to the X-T3, which does 30 frames per second with autofocus, that doesn't sound like much, but the X-T3 actually drops down to 11 or 12 frames per second, so we'll see how it actually compares. Sony finally added time lapses and an intervalometer into a camera, and they'll also add that to the A7 III, A7 R3, and A9 through firmware updates. We're excited to try those out. The feature Sony's most excited about is the IAF, which has been dramatically improved and should be able to track animals.
We tried the real-time IAF, and when it works, it's a great feature. It's certainly an exciting feature, especially for a wildlife photographer like me, but it wasn't hitting 100%. It seemed a bit unreliable and like it was hunting around a bit.
They're also doing better subject tracking. Through video, you can touch the rear screen and it will track a moving subject, and when you have the camera up to your eye, you can select a subject and it should track it as it moves around. However, I found that it tended to quickly jump between subjects, so maybe it's a little bit better than their existing software, but it's still not perfect. It shoots 4K at 30 frames per second with a little bit of a crop. Still, the video quality looked pretty good and the autofocusing while recording worked okay. It shoots HD at 1080 and 120 frames per second, which is great for slow motion, a really popular effect for vloggers. The buffer didn't fill too quickly. It should be okay for regular use. However, once the buffer was full, it took a long time to unload, even using a high-speed card. And while it was unloading, you couldn't open the menus or switch to video recording. Another feature we really miss is sensor stabilization. This camera lacks it, unlike the a6500 and just about every other modern Sony camera. If you plan to use stabilized lenses, that's okay, but if your plan includes using primes or unstabilized lenses, especially if you want to vlog with them, it probably won't work for you.
So, should you pre-order this camera? Well, for a first entry-level camera, it's $900. They pack a lot of features in, and it seems like a good all-around camera. That having been said, there are some rumored competitors coming out, but so far they're just rumored, and this seems like a good camera for good value. We'll have the full review out soon, so subscribe so that you can see that. Down below we have a link if you want to pre-order one, and a link if you'd like to win one. We're giving one away. Comment down below with more questions that you have. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you.